My name is Penny Rafferty. I'm the executive chair of a company called Luxury Lodges of Australia. This is my 14th visit to Morocco and Marrakesh, and a country that is very dear to my heart. Everyone who was in Marrakesh on Friday night has their own story, and they're all valid stories. I was with 5 colleagues in a beautiful old family riad right in the heart of the Medina, and we were wakened by the shaking. It was very frightening. The 2 riad staff and the 5 of us evacuated through an alley that is now a pile of rubble. So caring and comforting, and we felt, we told them to go and be with their families, but they wouldn't leave us. We were out in the open for several hours until the early hours of the morning, when we found alternate accommodation out of the Medina, and mostly because we wanted them to go to their families. The flood of people coming out, I think there's something like 200,000 people live in the Medina, and the flood of people who were coming out, confused. Yes, it was chaotic, but it was also strangely calm. There was a lot of empathy in the open square. There was nobody was being selfish. There was a real sense of, wow, this is horrifying. The reaction of the municipality of Marrakesh and the government has been extraordinary. I spent 4 hours walking through the Medina on Monday morning, so 48 hours after the earthquake, and I've been here 14 times before over 23 years, and there are parts of the Medina, yes, that are crumbling, and a lot of the residential parts are still closed access. But in the the less affected parts, it was business as usual. And that is so important for everybody living in Marrakesh and Morocco. Something like 95% of people in Marrakesh rely on hospitality, tourism services, delivering that for their livelihoods. So while they've all had a horrible scare as well, we're in some of the best shape I've ever seen. A lot of that is to do with the work the municipality has done over the last few years as well to clean up the souks, but a massive effort had gone into clearing the crumble and the rubble and making it presentable again. Clearly, any area that was not safe to access. After a crisis, particularly with countries that rely on visitation and tourism, but any country really, avoid the crisis point areas. There's no point right now going up into the mountain areas to help, because they need doctors, nurses, engineers. That's where the real crisis still is. But in Marrakesh and the rest of Morocco, it's open for business, and so many livelihoods rely on people passing through for families to survive, but also for families to then send money back to. It caused a long-term pain rather than short-term crisis. So Morocco is open for business, and actually you will get an even warmer welcome. You have to ask the right questions. Has the place that I'm planning to go been affected? If it is in crisis mode, don't go unless you're a doctor, a building engineer or a nurse, and you can actually help. But the other places, ask, show empathy. Ask, are you okay? We want to come. Have you had to change what you offer? If so, excite me by it, because there's so much that businesses are doing to rebuild, innovate, create new experiences of an amazing country. So anyone coming here needs to ask questions and be informed by the answers to those questions, not just clickbait in media that perpetuates the sense of crisis and emergency.